This is the Fort Riley Podcast, and I am Patty Geisfeld with the Garrison Public Affairs Office. Today, in honor of Women's History Month, I ask a couple of Fort Riley women to share their thoughts on what the month means to them. First, I'm talking with Lisa Christoverges, the Fort Riley Lead and Workforce Development Coordinator. Lisa, what does Women's History Month mean for you, and how has it affected your career?
Women's History Month reminds me that we haven't always had the rights and freedoms we have today. It provides me an internal drive to do better, to be better, and to achieve better. Finally, it serves as a reminder that women need to lift each other up rather than tearing one another down.
So do you have a woman that has inspired you, and how?
So I have several. I recently joined Junction City CrossFit, and the co-owner, Christina Spencer, and the women that work out in the morning with her, Sammy, Jasmine, Sam, and Megan, are personal inspirations. They are strong physically and mentally and strive to improve their body, mind, and soul. This morning, I watched them do handstand push-ups and was amazed. Professionally, I read I Am Malala a few years ago. In her memoir, Malala recounts her fight against the Taliban to be educated. She didn't back down from her belief that girls should be educated despite being shot. She is the definition, in my opinion, of courage in the face of adversity. The women I know personally and by researching and reading about strong women are better, they do better, and they achieve better.
Next, I'm speaking with Captain Viant Newby, the commander of the Garrison Headquarters and Headquarters 1st Replacement Detachment. Captain Newby, what does Women's History Month mean for you, and how has it affected your career?
I'm grateful for all the great women who have fought for progress to get us to where we are now. We have to continue forward progress by working together and lifting each other up and just continuing to pave the way to be recognized for our greatness, the same way that men are recognized for their greatness. As far as how it's affected my career, when we look at history, women weren't even allowed to be in the armed forces until around 1948, and that's with the Women Armed Forces Act that allowed women to serve as full permanent members of all the branches in the military. Before that, women played different roles in World War I and World War II, which, enabled them to be looked at as assets that can actually make a difference in the military. Those women also paved the way for us. And then when you look at in 2013, we were able to achieve full status in the military when we, as far as being able to serve in direct combat roles. And then in 2016, just being given the right to choose direct combat roles in all the military branches. So it means a lot as an engineer officer and branch engineer because of those women leading up to now and being able to make forward progress to give us more access to choose, those roles, combat roles, and just being able to serve in the military in general. That's been a great effect in my career in the military and how everything worked out.
Are there any particular women that you would like to speak about that have meant a lot, you think, throughout history for us?
Throughout history, there have been great women that have paved the way, that have shown great strength and have shown that we can basically do anything that we put our mind to. When we look at Rosa Parks, when we look at Amelia Earhart, flew across the Atlantic Ocean. We look at Thea Gibson, the first black tennis player, so on and so forth. Katherine Johnson, the mathematician who was one of the brains behind the calculation that helped flew us into space. So there's no shortage of inspiration when you look at what women around the world have done to pave the way for other women like myself. That is what Women History Month to me is all about, understanding what it took for us to get here and encouraging each other to continue forward progress, because although we've made great progress, I think there's still a long way to go.
Thank you. You've been listening to Fort Riley Podcast. I'm Patty Geisfeld.